So hello friends, welcome to my YouTube channel, Generative AI Unplugged. So today I will be introducing you to a Python tool. Now that's going to supercharge your workflow like never before. So say hello to UV, which is the smartest and the fastest Python package manager you have ever seen. And if you have been using pip so far, which was taking endless amount of time for installation, so UV is an upgrade you have been dreaming of. So let's dive in. So if you see what is UV, so UV is a extremely fast a Python package and project manager which was written in Rust. It was developed by Astral, and it's a single tool which will be able to replace pip, which is for installation, and then we have the pip tools, which is for the dependency locking and also for the virtual environments. So it's basically a one in all tool which is going to have a single interface for the developers. Okay, and for installation, you can install it on Windows or on Mac. And then the steps have been given in the official documentation. Also, you can visit the GitHub repository for UE. And here also, you can find the same installation steps. All right. So let's dive directly to the command line. And I will be going through a quick demo on how to use the various commands. And we'll be simulating how it works in pip and what UV is there to offer. Okay, so till now we are in this folder, and now if I create a specific folder for us, so I created a demo folder. Let me go into the demo folder. So till now what we were doing is that we were using the Python command. So we're using Python virtual environment in order to create a VNV, that is the virtual environment, and it was taking a lot of time for us to create it. And once the virtual environment was created, we had to activate it. And once activated, we will be then able to install the various tools and the dependencies for our Python environment. So now the virtual environment is created. So what will we do is we will directly go, okay, so we will have to execute the activate script in order to activate. So now we are inside the virtual environment. So now if I have to install things, so I will be doing pip install, say pandas, numpy, and maybe say matplotlib. And now pip will start the installation. So it will be downloading these modules and then it will be installing, and it will take a whole lot of time for it to do all those. Okay. And later when we use UV, so you will feel the difference as in it's so quick, it's lightning fast. So as you see, it had collected all these packages, and now it will try to check for all the dependencies before completing the installation. So as you see, it's still taking a lot of time, and it's quite frustrating. In 2025, you should definitely upgrade to a better package manager for Python. All right, so let's wait. Okay, so as you see, now it took almost more than a minute in order to download the modules and also to satisfy the dependencies before completing the installation. All right, so now what we used to do is we will do pip freeze requirements.txt in order to gather all our requirements into the requirements.txt file. And now if we see, we have the requirements.txt with all our dependencies. So now in comparison to this, if we have UV, for instance, so maybe I will deactivate the environment. So I'm back here. So let me create another folder. Or for UV, we don't need to directly create a folder. We can tell it creating the environment. So what we can do is we will start with UV init, and we can give a name for the folder. So we can say that, okay, we want to create a UV demo. So what init does is see the speed. So it was able to create this UV demo directory, and inside the UV demo, let me go inside the UV demo. And as you see, we have all these files which are created immediately. So we have the git ignore, the Python version, main.py, py project, and readme. All right. So let's get to the Visual Studio Code in order to see how this works. So we are back in the Visual Studio Code, and I'm back in the UV demo directory, which has the files which were created using the UV init command. Okay, so here the main thing to notice is that we have a file, a toml file, which is the py project.toml. And what this has is that it has the metadata for the project. So you have the name of the project which we created, like the UV demo, and then we have the version of the project. Then we have a description for the project which we can add here, and then we have a README file for our documentation for the project. And then this has a dependency or a constraint, which is that since we use the Python 3.12, so it requires 3.12 and higher Python. And then the dependency list, since we have not added any modules yet, so that's why it's empty. So let's go ahead and directly install some of the packages. Okay, so now let's run some commands in order to install the packages. So we'll be going it with installing pandas, numpy, and matplotlib. And as we see here, it is very fast, so it's already done. I mean, it hardly took say 5 seconds in order to complete the installation. Okay. And as you see here, there are more files which are created. So we have basically the project structure, which basically contains the a few important parts that work together and allows UV to manage our project. So this is the new file which was created called UV lock. So UV lock is basically a cross-platform log file that contains the exact information about the projects dependencies. So unlike the PyProject, which is used to specify the broad specifications of your project, so PyProject is like a specification. All right. The log file contains the exact resolved versions that are installed in the project environment, and this file contains the version control, allowing for basically the consistent and reproducible installation across machines. So this contains all the exact metadata information about the installation. Then if we have to add, say, a specific version, so we will do it similar to how we did it in pip. So we will say requests equals to, say, I give it a version 2.31.0, and it's done. So now requests is also added to the dependency list. And if we go to pipe project, so we can say that, okay, the same request version is available in the dependency list. All right. So now what can we do with UV? So we can basically run scripts. So we already saw that how we can install the packages. After the installation of the packages, we can also run the Python scripts. So since we have already installed pandas and numpy, so let's just quickly get to this main function, and let's say that, okay, import pandas as pd and import numpy as np. All right, so they are installed. That's why I'm not getting any errors. Now, in order to run these scripts, so all what we need to do is call uv run main.py. So once we run it, so uv will basically do a Python main.py. So it said, okay, hello from uv demo. So our Python file was running. Okay, so if you want to also work with UV but also with pip, so you can even use UV with pip. So you can say that, okay, UV pip install requests, and it's already available. So maybe we can give it another module, say for instance, UV pip install plotly. So similar to, so what here it's doing is it is using pip in order to install plotly. So as you see that it has a compatibility with pip, so that we can use the pip in order to install plotly, but UV will be able to manage all the dependencies and will be a much better tool than pip in managing the whole environment. All right, so the next part is that we have another command called uv-tree. So this will show our complete dependency tree of all the modules what we have installed and how and what are their dependencies. So this function or this command does that. The next command is venv. Now this will basically create a virtual environment, but not a Python project. So uvvenv is only for creating a virtual environment. Thing next is uv cache. So this will provide me with UV cache, and then I can say that, okay, I want to clean the cache. So clear the cache, removing all the entries or those linked to the specific packages. And then I can also show the cache directory. So I can say that, okay, UV cache dir, and it is telling me that, okay, this is the directory where the cache resides. Next is UV version. So this will show me the current version of UV. I can also get some help from the documentation by using UV help. So this will give me all the possible commands which we can run using UV. And then we can also see, okay, what are the Python we have installed on our system. So using UV Python list, it will tell us all the Python versions and their respective paths on our system. Similar to UV add package, which was for installing the Python packages, we can also remove Python packages by using UV remove, say pandas. So this will remove pandas from the environment. The command which is used to see the installed packages is UV pip list. So this will show me all the packages which are currently installed in the Python environment. And we can also do a UV pip freeze, which will basically tell us the requirements dot text information. So we can just do this and put all the information into a requirements dot text file. All right, so for that we used the pip freeze requirements dot text, which we are already familiar with. So I think this was a quick demo on how fast and reliable UV package manager is. So I would strongly suggest that you can stop using pip and switch to UV, which is a much more better version. And that's a wrap, folks. So today you leveled up your Python game by learning all about UV, the fastest, cleanest, and the smartest way to manage your packages. And if you found this video helpful, so make sure to smash the like button. It really helps the channel grow. And if you're serious about Python tech and leveling up your coding life, subscribe because you have got a ton of amazing content coming your way. Also, I would like to hear from you. Have you tried UV yet? So what's your favorite feature so far? So drop a comment below and I will reply to every single one. All right. So that's it for me today. So stay fast, stay curious, and I will see you in the next one.